and welcome back once again to Minecraft from the fog. Hamlet, are you back? I could have sworn you despawned at some point. Oh well. Get back to work. And it has been a really, really long time since I messed around with this stuff. Far too long, in fact. And part of that is because, I know that you guys want Mystery House back. I want to do Mystery House again. But it's just been, with so many other things happening, Voices of the Void and big releases, I just haven't had the time. Well... Wow, this is actually really, really dark. Hello? Percy, thank you for showing me the way. I knew I can always count on you kids. It is pitch black in here without being able to carry my own torch. There you are, Justice. Long time no see. I'm assuming that Liberty is still chilling down in the library. Anyway, it should be noted that Nox is also no longer on the Lunar Eclipse team. His projects are with a separate team now, so there's been a little less communication, which has also complicated things, but it seems like everything is more or less worked out now, and I should soon be able to give you more episodes of that. But for now, Brett has given me a gift, actually several gifts, and I think it's worth checking out standalone. See, From the Fog has been worked on quite a bit since I was last there, and in fact it's been completely overhauled. So, once again, I have no idea what to expect. There you are, Liberty. I knew you'd be in the library, bookish as you are. Even if it is only to learn how to make chemical concoctions that probably aren't safe in the house. Patience? There you are. Oh, hey, talking to the trader and his llama buddies? I like to imagine that you're like the cool convenience store clerk that you guys always kind of hang out with while you're getting stuff. You just kind of pass them some spare hay over the wall. Oh, you know what? I think that version of the world was pre all that, because yeah, this is before all the renovations. Oh man, I'd forgotten just how detailed all of this got near the end. Man, I'm just doing this for a quick little nostalgia trip because I know you guys returning want to see these guys. It has been far too long, probably over a year at this point since we've seen Liberty and Percy, right? For something that is like an icon of the channel. I believe Bandit is in the garden here. There you are. Hey, buddy. You only came in at the end, but you're just as much a part as anyone. There's Justice and Darwin, just as we left them last New Year. And so, in order to make this vision come true, the Wraith of the Wreck must go into a deep and restful sleep. Well, here we are in the Wraith of the Wreck's new dream. I never could have anticipated the cultural impact that Minecraft would have. I mean, I was 15 when this game was first publicly available, and so my memories of this probably aren't as ingrained as probably a majority of the audience who first played it as children. It's weird that, like, 15 years later, kids are still playing this same game. We haven't moved on from it. And it's because, well, the sky's the limit. Not only has it always been updated, but there's infinite potential for creativity and to tell our own stories. And because it's so culturally significant, it's weird how universal the experience is. The feeling of loading into a new world for the first time, the checklist that gets automatically completed as soon as we load in. The feeling of falling into lava and losing all your diamonds? I don't know. It's just so ubiquitous in this generation's experience. Across several generations' experience, really. Spawn in, cut down a tree, make a crafting bench, make an axe, make a pickaxe, get some stone, upgrade your tools, build your cabin. It is so drilled in at this point as to be second nature. Of course, daylight is limited, so we need to start scouting for where we want to build our home. And it seems like we're near water, but it's very hilly terrain. Oh my, we are near a deep, deep chasm. And this is another aspect of the Minecraft experience that I think has been massively significant. The empty feeling. The feeling of looking at a deep, dark cave and being afraid of the sounds coming from within or the lack thereof. And, well, most importantly, the fog. when we reduce our render distance all the way down, and in fact it used to be even worse when I was playing this on my 2007 Potato PC. This is more or less what the game looked like, only with far simpler graphics. I can't even recreate it in this version, I don't think. Back when the textures were cartoonier, the landscape was so much more wild. We would push through forests and across beaches and oceans, looking like this, and every once in a while, feel like we could see somebody watching us. It was that dissonance, this cheerful and child-friendly world, combined with this fog that was an obvious technical limitation that nonetheless made it feel like a dream, combined with that eerie emptiness, that feeling of being watched, that you couldn't really be alone. And, well, oddly enough, the music is deciding not to play, but that sort of creepy, almost child's music box soundtrack, I don't know, it really made a lot of people uneasy. So, of course, it was inevitable that sooner or later there would not only be creepypastas meant to explain that feeling, but also a mod to make it a reality. We have already struck cave, it seems. I'm going to piss a lot of people off by saying this, but it's crazy that a game that is nearly 20 years old is still changing culturally, like even within itself. And so I actually do credit this partly with the rise of a familiarity with liminal concepts, or at least a readiness to understand it. But it's been changed once more. Apparently Brett has really cooked with this one, and like I said, it's not the only thing. Sun setting. Sheep here. Cows. Okay, good. We have all these animals we need, so we won't have to go far like I always do. But yeah, as you can see, dark means dark now. And I need... are we gonna go with a hobbit hole for tonight? I think we might just have to. It's always a little bit embarrassing to have to do so, but that's the culture of Minecraft. Where do we put it? You know what? I think hidden by this tree would be a nice spot. Yeah, that looks nice. It's simultaneously like the poverty conditions of a Minecraft run, and excellently cozy. Let's just put you right there. Ooh. Ooh, we have tunneled into our own cave. But we do require safety from the things that go bump in the night. It definitely didn't help with the perception of danger in this that there really was danger. And look, I know new music has been added over time. But there's something about the simplicity, the cheerful nature of it, but how discordant and, well, distant it feels. That has always been a little on the spooky side. Oh. I really can't go 2 feet without it being too dark to see anything. Another universal Minecraft experience. Cowering in your hole on the starting night and hearing footsteps walking around outside. But I can't see what it was. It didn't make any mob sounds, didn't make anything. That's weird. You know, it's only now that it's starting to tick down that I realize we have a problem we didn't have in Minecraft Alpha. I guess I'd put myself back into that mindset. We need to eat something. We're gonna need food soon. And the lack of it is precisely why I shouldn't be out there. Yep. There was only one thing it could be. Okay, we've cleared off plenty of space for our little home. Now let's start sketching it out. We want something that's, like, decent in size. I don't like making the smallest possible house available and then building from there, although this will certainly expand over time. I gotta find some food. I gotta find wool. Yeah, I really need to prioritize other things right now, but we're off to a good start. Ugh. Also gotta not fall into the abyss. Maybe put up some warning signs. Night 2 should be a bit more to within my comfort standards, as we now have a bed to sleep in. But I definitely do feel time advancing, and it's just every time I have a moment to myself, every time the work stops and I'm not so focused on the objectives, I just look around and think, like, I really am just in this little snow globe of a world, huh? Sounds like the rain is here. Funnily enough, Brett has literally updated this mod while I was playing, but I guess that's my fault for taking so long to get to this. In any case, well, now is the best time to have some glass to watch the rain with, huh? There we go. See, the whole appeal of this channel has always been creepy and comfy, and, well, what else is Minecraft? It's being able to make our little house and watch the weather roll by, spawning in the dark and the danger in the woods, and kind of making yourself a cozy little shelter to just kind of not worry about it. I think that's partly why they've never had, like, siege mechanics, you know? Like mobs breaking down walls and doors, except on the harder difficulties. Because it's supposed to be chill, but part of what makes it so chill is being able to protect yourself in this way. You just have to get there. Unfortunately, that means it's going to be a bit dark out while I go to the mines. Although it's going to be pretty dark in the mines, too. The fog actually helps us a little bit here, get a sense of scale and contrast for what's lurking in there. That little bit of movement in the shadows, that is why people fear caves. Well, that and cave sounds, which we oddly have not heard yet. So that's the cool thing about Minecraft, is that it's such a blend of technical and creative ability that's required. And so what it means is that you're guided in your creativity, and you have a lot of time where you need to reach these milestones, a lot of them in very short order, to get yourself started. It's a way to keep yourself interested, which is, I think, why survival came before creative in the home release. I mean, I still remember playing creative mode in browser. Okay, night is falling, fog is everywhere. And the light of our cabin guides us home. You see this? It's the constant contrast between safety and danger, and the fact that we're the ones that create the safety in a hostile world. We literally can't see more than a few feet past the glow from our window. And now I realize that the head of our bed is right at eye level with an opening. Like anything could creep right up and stare at us as we sleep. Imagine if Minecraft allowed you to look around while you're sleeping. I mean, sure, it's something that would only make a difference for a few seconds at a time. But hey, the first mod I ever installed for Minecraft was Peach Dudes. You know what it changed? It added little peach dudes that fall from trees. That's it. Now that we're starting to establish ourselves here, I think it's about time we have a look at what's new in this world, don't you think? So, let's try for the config. Oh, look at this! That is so cool! Now, one of the awesome things about From the Fog is that you've always been able to completely customize the experience to your liking. You can allow it to pretty much run in the background, completely independent of your control, or you can tweak every little behavior, and I'm not gonna dig too much into this because, well, I want it to be a surprise. But maybe these images can provide some hints. Look, how cool is that there's a full 3D in-universe UI now? Oh, look at that, I was just trying to figure out how to get rid of it, and it seems just looking away does it. That is so cool. Even the menu behaves like Herobrine. I'll be honest, the reason I paused for a second there was because I turned around and just saw a foggy tunnel in the hillside, and I'd forgotten for a moment that I built it. Dude, he hasn't even showed up yet, and I'm remembering why I got into Minecraft. I honestly think that this creepy feeling is a big part of what appealed to me in the first place. I mean, look, those tunnels that when you back away, you actually can't see down them all the way. Man, between not having a usable emissive torch and the dark being darker than ever, there's actually a lot of good incentive to get back before sunset now. So much to be done. Like, a bed is more critical than ever. Home is more critical. Actually, you know what might be kind of fun? Is to just sit out here and wait for sun to set completely so we can see just how dark it really gets, huh? I'm actually quickly realizing that the problem with even trying to test this is going to be that there are mobs spawning out here and we literally cannot see 2 feet in front of our face. With this low draw distance, the sky is the only thing providing contrast. The landscape, completely pitch black. I'm going to want to leave torches in places like this, so that if it does get dark, I can find my way back periodically. I'm so used to just carrying a torch around that emits light that I practically have forgotten how to work without it. I literally can't see what's in front of my face without torches. But in the fog, I can see that I'm not alone here. Whoa, that's a big drop. Oh my god! So it begins. There you are. It took days, and if I remember rightly, that is actually hard-coded. It takes a while for you to show up. Lull the player into a false sense of security, and let them sit on those feelings for a long time. That's the really big thing. Problem is with these droplets of rain, all I see sometimes out of the corner of my eye is a couple of white dots. And I don't know if I'm being stared at. The little circle that I've created is all the light I have. Are those pillagers already? Oh man, I don't even have armor. Maybe now would be a great time to go explore parts unknown. Let's just leave ourselves a little fence post here, a way to mark home for ourselves. You guys can just kind of hang out over there. I'm gonna fashion myself a boat. This is why you always want to build on water, is because you want to make sure that you can quickly travel to other places. It'll get superseded by other things later, but for now, it's the best we've got. Hello. An abandoned nether portal. Nothing we can do with this for now, but maybe there's something nearby we can take. Well, I'll tell you what we can take. We could certainly take some of these pumpkins. Thank you. Not all of them. There's pigs here, too. And lots of melons and gold and all sorts of things. Like, there's just always been something about From the Fog that seems less than random to me. Imagine if that were to be the case, that the widespread belief in Herobrine and finally the desire to actually have it there somehow manifests it into the world. At that point, I suppose Herobrine would essentially be a tulpa, right? A tulpa that is able to collectively haunt our experiences. Actually, I suppose the more people who genuinely believe and who swear up and down that they saw Herobrine in their Minecraft save around the lunchroom table, well, the more true that is, the closer to reality. I mean, think about it. If everyone believes it's true and they feel that way when playing, well, it's essentially had the same effect as really being real, right? I want to tell you a story that anyone who saw the first From the Fog series will be familiar with, because I told it at the beginning of that series too. And it's significant to me because I think it just encapsulates everything that people believe about the mythology surrounding Minecraft and the sort of culture that's formed around it over the years. Now, years back, I was on a RuneScape fan forum that had a community server, and the game was much more basic and empty back then, and I can read the exact post I made right after this happened. Anyways, just had kind of a creepy experience on the server. I was mining at Adminium and decided to call it quits. I was lost, but I tunneled into another long, 1 block wide tunnel. Now, this is me speaking in the present now. That was really, really weird because I was down deep, so far from anyone else making my own tunnel, it was really strange to just intersect another one like this. But back to the post, I followed it forever. And it was weird because in some areas, the walls and floor were made of obsidian. It went on forever to a dead end, at which point I stair-tunneled my way to the surface. I was in the middle of nowhere, so I walked in the direction I believed the town was in. Eventually, I came to an area that had torches. There was some cobblestone and floating planks, with a sign that said, "Why are you following me? Stop." I could see through some chunk errors that there was a burning forest in the distance. I moved in that direction thinking there must be someone, and when I came to it, I lost connection. Weird. That got some talk going at the time, and I don't know, it was such a bizarre experience for me. It didn't help that, it wasn't like now where we would all be in Discord chat or something. It was all over text. I think there are two really good kinds of mod in the world, and there are those that just improve the overall quality of life, and those that fundamentally change the way you play the game, and I've got both of those on right now. The cool thing about From the Fog is how seamlessly it fits into the overall experience. It feels like it was always here, which is funny because this mod was made because it felt like it was always here. But then you have stuff like this, the darkness, and suddenly ambient light just isn't a thing anymore, at least not in cases like this. Oh, I do actually see light from below. I'll listen to the wind outside. Perfect night for Minecraft. Oh, it's a mine shaft, but just going through the middle of this giant cave. That is so cool. This is one of the first and really only games to do procedurally generated worlds correctly, because some of them just use it as a shorthand for infinite content, and that's not usually what it means in practice. Minecraft is one of the few games where that really is how it works. Because no matter how long you play, you'll always come upon something awe-inspiring that you didn't see before. Oh, look at that. Seeing the moon rise underground. Funny quirk of the fog. I think, it doesn't really work nearly as well underground. There just weren't huge, complex structures like this back in the day. Just one more way, you see that this fog is an artifact of a different era. Different hardware, different software limitations. I thought you were an Enderman at first. Look at you, the way you just lurked in the shadows like that with those glowing eyes. You didn't disappear when I looked at you, only when I got close. And out of everything that's lit in here, you were in the shadowy area. I think that might be a new behavior. I turned around and I thought, oh, look, that Enderman looks kind of weird, and then I realized slowly that's not an Enderman. I might have to stay here the night. And it's because a unique new problem has emerged, which is that I can't find the exit. When it's dark, you don't have any moonlight pouring in through the cave entrance. So this is kind of where we're at for now. What? Ooh, that's an underwater cave. Hey, and I just realized the drowning UI is a little bit different now, so, that's interesting. Storm's coming in. And from this angle, the side of the obsidian portal sort of looks like somebody standing there, doesn't it? fog may be gone, but I'm always just kind of spinning around looking out for silhouettes. This thing is just about done, but I need to finish up the glass for the upstairs bedroom. So let's throw some of you on and some of you. We should have enough coal and iron to actually last quite a while now. There we go. And insulated from the outside world. Perfect. You are to become the genesis of a new generation. And it seems only fair that you should have gotten to get in on that, but it doesn't matter. You'll all get all the seeds you can eat soon enough. You know, it's only now that I realize just how much a giant window sucks when it's pitch black outside. Oh, I don't like that. There's windows to our right and our left. And actually, we don't even get the satisfaction of knowing that, hey, at least we're on the second floor here because we are right at level with the hillside. That ain't good. Hey, I was just about to comment on how I haven't seen any mobs in forever. Yes, this is definitely new behavior. You actually are physically there. You are getting so much more brazen. You just let me walk all the way up to you. I guess that's what this needed, though. It needed to reinvent itself. Everything does. There's this concept in gaming that TV Tropes calls the urban legend of Zelda, the tendency for stories about games and things that might be in them to spread by word of mouth. And Herobrine was like a great modern example of that. I mean, I had heard stories growing up about the Lavender Town tone and all the different things that were hiding in the backwoods on Mount Chiliad and San Andreas. But I never thought I'd see something like that develop in real time, you know? I thought that in the internet age, in the age of data mining and Google, that it would be impossible for stuff like this to spread because people could just immediately either verify it or deny it. But it seems like the desire to believe in this stuff is the real reason why it's here. Even though we're afraid of it, on some level, we want it to be true because it's so interesting to talk about. It's so interesting to gather around the school lunch table and trade stories about having seen it, or somebody whose dad works at Minecraft, or Mojang, I guess, and says, no, it's definitely not there. Or another one who says, yeah, he put it in, man. To hear people offering different explanations for what it might be. Somebody saying, oh yeah, no, it's totally something that Notch put in as a prank and just hasn't removed because people keep talking about it. Another one saying that it's his brother who died and he doesn't want to publicly acknowledge it because he's just as freaked out as anyone. I mean, back then these things would persist because you have no real way of verifying one way or another. Now there's no way because there's just so many different stories that all of them hold equal weight. Because it really just comes down to what you want to believe. As it turns out, we choose the legends every time. Found something interesting. We can probably tunnel upward to get to another nice cave. Alright, we've got our first redstone. This has been a real productive mining run. We are set for a while. I think now all I want is this gold that's up here. And with that, we have all we need for our watch, compass, all that. Notice how quickly you go to that little spot that looks like a good enough spot on the side of the river to something you can actually make a home in. That's someplace you actually are excited to see when you come back from a run. There we go. Everything's looking good. Now, how about you guys? It's just cool to have this little carve-out where even though the darkness is still as oppressive as ever, we at least feel comfortable walking around in front of our own house. There we go. Oh, that's a zombie. I'm telling you, every time I catch a glimpse of blue against green, it always has me on alert. Yep. And the thing is, like, it's just the default player model. That's the cool thing. Herobrine has a bunch of different stories to explain his presence in the game, but he always has just looked like a player with white eyes. In other words, he sort of appeals to the idea of being in multiplayer while not in multiplayer. So I'm not sure which of these are public. I'm pretty sure at least one of them isn't. But the 2 data packs that I'm using additionally are Lights Out, which, well, turns the lights out, and something called Lunaris, which causes monthly cycles of 8 days, during which different effects are active. Now, I'm not sure how that's actually manifested, or if it's manifested at all if I installed it incorrectly, but, well, we may start to see something of interest here. I'll be honest, I actually kind of like this look, having half and half, where the wood goes over one side and then the stone on the other. I can just barely see the tree line on the opposite side of the river against the sky. When moonlight isn't a factor, it really does become a completely different game, doesn't it? Why did your eyes look so wide right there? Maybe it's... God, stay on the path. That's the lesson here. Don't go wandering. And that's what I love about this mod. I mean, everything is customizable. We could make it so that he shows up every 2 seconds. But for the most part, it's an experience enhancer. It's something that you just put on, and every time you forget that it's running, that's when it appears. There have been other mods in the past that introduced Herobrine. Obviously, it's been around for so long, someone was bound to do it. But I've always felt that this one was the most faithful of a portrayal. And the reason for that is because it was always this creeping threat. It was a personification of the feeling that something isn't quite right in this world. Empty games have this uncanny valley effect, and you only need to go back to 90s games to feel that way. It's sort of lessened now, although modern games can certainly feel this way, because there's so much detail and there's always something going on. It's always bombarding you with something to do. But even think back to like linear FPS games and such, where you've cleared out the hallway and you're running around just trying to figure out where you need to go next. And so you're walking over bodies on the floor, or possibly even despawned enemies, so it's truly empty. And you start to listen to the subtleties. You listen to the ambient sounds, or even total silence if they're that lazy. And I don't know, it's just unnerving in a really unspecific way. It makes you very aware of the emptiness of the game itself when you have downtime. And it makes you aware of the emptiness of your own surroundings, because how many of us went through this while sitting in front of a glowing screen well after we were supposed to have gone to bed? It's the kind of thing that makes us feel eyes on us, and so we glance over our shoulder into the darkness. And we know there wouldn't actually be anything there, but we just can't shake the feeling. It's more than a coincidence, then, that Minecraft would have these feelings attached to it, because it resembles a 90s game. It's got simplistic, colorful textures and blocky geometry. And of course, it, especially back in the day, had the fog. We know that it's there to help obscure the technical limitations of the system, which doesn't help because it makes it feel like you're playing sort of an unfinished product, something you're not even supposed to have, something that barely feels like it was made by people. Then there's the intrinsic emptiness. There's no dialogue in Minecraft. There's no friendly NPCs. I mean, we have villagers and stuff now, but that came much later. And even there, well, they're not exactly conversationalists. And so we feel really like we have no connection, like we're the only sentient thing here, which obviously we are, but, you know, other games have characters and conversation. It creates an illusion that Minecraft doesn't really bother with. Goodbye. Just look at how pretty this game is these days. I guess it's kind of what it felt like back then. I remember there was a time where the terrain was more Hello? Do my eyes deceive me? I've only seen one of these huge structures before, and that was in the Mystery House series. Well, I guess we know what we're up to today. Oh look, this one looks a bit different. Do they actually come in different designs? Alright, look, I don't want to end up sleeping in there, so here is going to be our rally point. That'll show us where this all is in the darkness. Of course, with some more breadcrumbs along the way, when those breadcrumbs are glowing, certainly helps. Okay, we have to do this SWAT team style, because sure, we could just blow our way through the wall, but if we can't do this cool, what's the point of doing this at all? And as it happens, I've already got stairs on me, so that's precisely what we're gonna do. So we can break through this. Alright, sneaking around on wool, so we're even more stealthy. Infiltrating the pillager base. No wonder they found us so readily. We were never all that far from them. Ooh, it is very dark, though. The music is not at all appropriate for the clandestine operations we are currently undertaking. There's somebody at the end of the hall. What is this? Oh, they're starting to spawn. What is this? Some kind of, I guess, fight ring that they compete in? These guys are absolute barbarians and savages, I tell you what. I don't remember it being quite so dark in here. I just lost like half my health at once. All right, abort, abort, abort. We are compromised. Go, go, go. And out. Okay, oh my god, no. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Yep. Hey, look at that. We're ducking under these things. I saw you there. You know I'm here. Hey, I just realized this is a giant wool kitty. All right, the sun is going down. Hey there. But I will surely be back. It's gonna be really difficult to make it back right now. Man, you just never anticipate how out of luck you'll be when this happens. Okay, the torches that we placed earlier are paying off, but we're gonna be totally defenseless in the dark here. We can get up into here, but there is nothing to light the whole path back, which means we're hunkering down here for a little bit. It's gonna have to be all there is to it. They should not be able to get in now, although we can still see outward. Just huddled in our little fort? No wonder this is so popular with kids. This is the problem with having to wait out the night. I always get so bored I end up tunneling into something crazy. There's a cave here. That was creepy, because I didn't even see anything falling from the ceiling before, but in the moment where I saw you, I kind of froze, and then this started coming down, and I glanced at that, and then when I glanced back, you were gone, and I thought you were just there to herald a mine collapse or something. I got some bad news for you guys. I need arrows, and you have the ability to provide them. So we're going to get a whole bunch of new guys out of you. There we are. Okay, that was literally your entire adult population. Only one of you actually had a fertile egg. Okay, so you guys are to be the new generation of arrows. Bright side, I guess I'm good on food for a little bit. This is an interesting looking mine shaft, isn't it? Okay, let's take this stuff. I've never seen this happen before. A mine shaft going straight through a geode. Unfortunately, I simply do not have enough arrows. But what I have here will have to do. Oh, hey guys! You, taking it for a spin? Oh my god, I just realized I could put like a whole bunch of these things in a circle around my base and probably use boats as a moat. They'll just trap themselves inside. Alright, hang on, wait, I gotta deal with you. Alright, wind up. Oh, you can shoot from the boat, can you? Isn't that how I disarmed Hamlet in the other series? Alright, nope. You're right where I want you. Yep, you're gonna run out of health before I do. Come on. There you are. Ooh, what is this? An ominous bottle. And I got the achievement, Voluntary Exile. Well, you know what they say, live a little. Well, it caused the rain to let up. Whatever was in there couldn't have been all bad. Now, Bad Omen 5. Is that because of the banner, or is that because what I just drank? I'm sorry, I was just having a look at something. Did you come to observe? It's like even the menu itself is a manifestation. And I'm just waiting until nightfall so that I can start bright and early. And then I'm gonna go for a very ill-equipped raid on the outpost. You know, when I was looking at that menu screen just now, what I saw was that apparently the sighting rate is doubled at night, which is really interesting. Like, it still works basically the same way as before. It's not like playing a completely different mod, but it seems like where before it just sort of randomly startled you every once in a while, it feels a lot more, I don't know, internally directed now. You know, at first this pen brought me comfort, but at this stage I'm realizing there's actually something creepier about having a very well-lit area falling off into absolute darkness beyond. Like at night, my little area is the only thing in the world, which I suppose in a video game, a single-player game, it is. Another interesting thing I learned while I was looking at the menu is that the behavior that we saw earlier when it was in the cave staring at us from the dark is actually a new one called dwelling. Basically, so long as we can't see the body, it won't disappear. I definitely, it was like 3 pixels wide, but I definitely saw something standing on the roof and moving. I think it's time to get to bed. Good night. Got a big day ahead of us tomorrow in which I'm very likely to be killed. There we are. And off we go. Now, something else we can try doing, if the water does actually go straight up to the building, is literally just entering via boat. You're not going to take away my SWAT raid fantasies from me. Right here beneath our stairs, so we can go under or over. In we go. And our goal here is no longer reconnaissance. Our goal here is elimination of the enemy. If we can find them. Wow. Storage. This may be a successful raid yet. No. Unless, of course, there's nothing. Actually, I remember that even with Diamond, these guys hit like a truck. So, we've got to be careful for that. A little chapel. Fortunately for them, I'm not exactly religiously tolerant for you guys. You did try to kill me. Yep. You got a farm in which you grow nothing. I seriously underestimated the number of torches that would be needed. That angle was crazy. Normally, as soon as I can see you, you're gone within seconds, but you wanted me looking almost directly at you. You know, seeing you here would have been significant in the Mystery House series. now? It's that grin. The grin always seems to matter in context, doesn't it? Like what, you think you can get rid of me here? You think you can find answers here? Well, I mean, maybe not the question to you, but books have lots of answers. Here's their evil boardroom where they plan their evil schemes. I imagine they mostly involve coming after me at my house, because I guess they don't like it here and they're jealous. Multiple enemies. Yep, there you are. Okay. You summoned stuff. I'm gonna go out. You might try to chase me around the corner, but maybe I can see where you are. Somebody told me that those things are what they turn the allays into. I got personal beef here. Oh! Oh! Oh my god. Ow. 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 That hurt a lot. My god. You didn't just hit hard, you hit fast. Nope, not at all. Oh! Whatever attack that was, it didn't sound good. Oh, here they come. You can fly, too. I may have to dive into the water to evade you. There they are. I guess they start losing their life force after being summoned. They can go through walls as well. I guess they won't come through or see through windows. You, yes, yes. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Well, at least we have some place to escape to. Or not. Sorry, I hate to do this to you. It does at least seem to slow you down a bit, but I obviously can't stay here. Oh. Night is starting to fall, which is decidedly inconvenient. Maybe those things being outside is good for us? Maybe they'll have a harder time getting back to their master? So we know you're here. Where are you? Come on! Can you stop doing that for like 2 seconds? Ow! Oh, come on! I really don't see how we're supposed to tackle this. If he can just spawn something that can kill me instantly and can phase through walls, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You're dead. Good. I guess that damage stacked on you after all. And we got a Totem of Undying. I had no idea you guys carried those. Well, that'll certainly help us if something goes south, but let's try and avoid cashing that in. I've never held one of these things in my hands before. Prioritize arrows, even if we can't get the full charge. I was gonna say, that's where I set off the creeper explosion. Oh, sorry, kitty. You're pretty fast. You're also pretty undeterred, although sometimes you decide, I'm just gonna screw it for now. Yeah, losing health is not good. We don't have nearly enough food. This is all I could get. People are gonna be like, why didn't you just build it up more and get more? Well, because I have a limited amount of time to record this, and I can't stand up until I have a video. Hi. Yeah, no. Actually, if I could bring you this way... Come on, let's settle this like men. Oh, come on, no cheating from up there. There we go. Oh, are you kidding me? Ton of arrows, because in this context we never get the chance to use them. But we are making our way upward like a dungeon in an NES game. There's you again. Oh my god. Well, forget this. Come on, man, show yourself. Gotta get our hits where we can. Come on. Hiding in the dark, are you? Come on. Oh, look at that. Oh, you persist even after your summoner dies. So I guess we're gonna have to wait a while on you. Believe me, I don't take any pleasure in that. That's 2 evokers down, a handful of regular, or well, I guess defender pillagers, whatever you would call them, another Totem of Undying. Maybe it has to be in our slots, I don't know. You know, we're actually gonna have to set up a camp in here. Well, that's convenient. What is this, some kind of confessional? It's a whole structure right in the bedroom. Maybe a walk-in closet. Either way, I've got some wood on me. I need to craft some craftables. This feels like clearing the prison in Project Zomboid or something, like it's slow and arduous. And you often have to make stops and really think about the logistics, but even still, you're making progress constantly. All right, we need more of this. We need charcoal so we can make more torches. Ooh, there's a bed up here in the loft as well. And a couple more music discs and a golden apple. That is tremendously useful. Melon seeds. Also, it seems that a lot of what I've been hearing may have been out here. A skeleton died in the sunlight, a spider is here. I'm still hearing an illager somewhere in the walls, but hey, ghosts are clearly real. Maybe I shouldn't even think too much about it. But you know, for a vacation house, it's not bad. It's passable. The beds are somewhat comfy. I suppose it's got a few square feet of space. Worst case, I'll use it as an overpriced Airbnb. What is this? Oh, we didn't nearly clear the first floor. There's like a staircase tunnel inside the walls. What? Ooh. Ooh. For a second, I was really worried this would be a trap. Not quite as good as what we had before. We had an enchanted golden apple, all this. Hey, a worthwhile reward, I suppose. We can eat that bread that we can make. After all this, I was absolutely certain it would be booby-trapped. You're not an evoker, which means I have a distinct advantage here. You're also apparently not a thinker. Like, at all. Got your emeralds. Spend them at the nearest apothecary. I really could not have conceived of just how packed this place would be. Oh my god. Just die, please. Thank you. Oh my god, they're tanks. And now there's one less. Still 30 to go. Oh, hey, your buddies! Please don't come this way. Oh, they're still mad about what happened at the house. All right, there you go. Huh. You know, maybe I misjudged you as a bunch of brutes. You actually really do have an appreciation for art. Especially statues and sculptures. There we are. Just making sure that there's nowhere for mobs to spawn. What's this? Some sort of jail or brewing room? Look at this. I have never properly explored one of these things before, and they actually grow their own trees? I mean, it's a bit misguided. They're doing it in a dark room on the ground floor. But I get what they're going for. Maybe it's just a little indoor garden. Dude, I can't believe we actually did all this. This whole thing is ours now, and I even went online to confirm that they do not respawn, because last time I went to one of these, it seems like they just never stopped coming. The screams in here just never stop, but I get the feeling that that's how the former occupants like it. I wonder if one of them came to the window the other night and thought, Is there a light out there? Something was coming for them. It's just cool to be that thing. I'm gonna put it to peaceful for just a moment, just because I do think we deserve to hover over the bed of the civilization we annihilated. And hey, you be the judge of whether or not they deserved it. They did. But I'll tell you what, I'm also really impressed with this place. The fact that it's a building that looks cohesive from the outside, but it's so zany on the inside. There's such a wide variety of rooms, and well, I mean, even just going through it feels like an exploration. Hey, do you guys want to see something really crazy? Bam! If we're gonna end this video, I guess we might as well at least see what's new, right? Look at it more in depth. Starting with vanishing delay. Okay, I expect this to be fairly basic, mostly the same stuff that was here before. Just a little bit of an extra carve-out for dwelling. Now, sightings. That's interesting. Because it actually fully explains what each of these things is now. Sightings are the foundation of From the Fog, serving as the core mechanic that brings the eerie encounters to life. These unsettling moments occur randomly, creating the impression that he is always watching, yet never fully there. I figured you would do something like that. I knew you would. I knew I had been facing one direction for far too long. So there's actually a distinction between the types of sightings at this point. Creeping, which is what he just did, spawns standing behind you waiting for you to turn around. Nightmare appears at the foot of your bed when you sleep, watching. Now, that I believe is incredibly rare, because in the last series, in all the hours I spent on this, I think it happened once or twice. Stalking. Spawn standing anywhere around you, stalking you from a distance. And lurking. Spawns lurking around, watching from a very far distance. Just how far is very far? That's making me paranoid. Is that something that hasn't happened, or have I just not seen it? Every time I post a video on this mod, you guys point out things that I didn't see, and that's the creepiest thing. I do wonder if the fact that it's so unsettling comes partially from the fact that your brain registers things that you don't necessarily. Then there's Dwelling Sighting, spawns watching you just out of view from the darkest corners of your caves. Dwelling Shadows. If he appears spawning in the dark, he will refuse to disappear while in darkness. Then there's Sudden Scare, enables the ability for Herobrine to jump scare the player when they collide with him. Well, every time we've tried, he's vanished before we could reach him. Malicious Malfunction, that appears to be disabled by default, causes the game to crash on jump scare. Epilepsy warning, not for weaker machines. You know what? Why don't we try it? Oh my god! I was looking up and to the left at the mountain for a second. I didn't even see you right there. You really love messing with me while I'm doing this, huh? Sighting noise changes whether or not a noise is played when you spot Herobrine, 50% chance. Suspenseful sighting changes whether or not Herobrine will play a suspense strike when spotted. Isn't that kind of the same thing? Bassy noise. Shrouded Spectre changes what particles appear when Herobrine disappears. Ah, so right now he just disappears as if he were never there. I prefer it that way, but he can disappear in a poof, a cloud of smoke, or even a portal. There is actually a lot here that it wasn't here before. No sleep. Makes Herobrine prevent you from sleeping when he's nearby. Window Watcher toggles whether he'll watch you through a window. We can even decide what type of name tag he might appear with. Right now he's got none. Here we have the Skin Library. The Skin Library offers a variety of Herobrine appearances for use during sightings. Players can choose a specific skin to suit their preference, or let the mod randomly select one for added unpredictability. This customization enhances the eerie atmosphere and keeps encounters fresh and unique. Look at that. We can mouse over each of them and get a name and the creator. And some of these new ones are really cool looking. Really cool looking. But I never saw any of them, though, and I don't see where we actually change the option. Here's one I was dreading the entire time. Burning base. Herobrine will try to burn your house down once you leave the area. 1 check every 5 minutes. Oh, God. I slept in the mansion. Guys, stay late. You're not supposed to be alive. Oh my. It's a little early to tell, but everything looks okay. God. Imagine seeing something like this appear in the fog in alpha. It would be kind of like seeing the Titanic emerge, huh? I mean, it would have started on the 3rd floor, so that whole thing would be engulfed by now. Alright, confident that we're okay for the time being? Let's go back to looking at this config. Now, what were we up to? Oh yeah, disappearing torches. Disappearing torches creates an unsettling atmosphere by making torches vanish without explanation. This sudden loss of light leaves areas darker and more perilous, heightening the tension. It serves as a quiet reminder of Herobrine's presence, subtly disrupting your sense of security. Malevolent Shrine. Oh, this is one of the aspects of the mod that's really interesting to me because it's something that is not in the original creepypasta, but has sort of been canonized in the Herobrine lore, that if you build this certain structure, I don't have enough gold for it, you can actually summon Herobrine to your world. Herobrine's Shrine is a classic Herobrine structure that players can build to provoke him. Building one of these shrines is an easy way to initiate Herobrine's eerie activities without waiting for the default 3-day timer, so no wonder we didn't see him for a while. Dreadful donations involve Herobrine leaving unsettling gifts in players' chests. These mysterious offerings serve as a chilling reminder of his presence, blurring the line between generosity and menace. I've never had one of these as far as I know, but Dreadful Donation, which is changes whether or not he will leave you gifts in your chests. Then there's Haunted Heirlooms, changes whether or not he'll leave you custom paintings and music discs when donating. And then there's Lurking Language. Ooh, changes the language that Herobrine communicates in. Used when he places signs or leaves donations. It can be in English or Swedish, which I suppose appeals to a certain theory about his backstory. Leafless groves are haunting areas where trees stand barren, stripped of all their leaves. These lifeless patches of forest serve as an unsettling sign of Herobrine's presence, adding to the world's eerie atmosphere. Hang on. Remember that story I told you earlier? That was basically what I found. I talked about floating planks, but there were leafless trees in that area, and there was that forest burning in the distance. That's really weird, because this mod is the first I'm hearing of these things, so it's kind of strange that that's what I experienced, partly. And finally, there's structures. The structures that Herobrine places are unsettling landmarks that appear throughout the world. These eerie creations heighten the tension, leaving players questioning their origins and purpose. Mossy pyramids, which I've experienced in earlier things, and glowstone letters. When enabled, Herobrine will place large glowstone letters in the plains and deserts of your world. It's so cool to see how far it's come, and even though the fundamental experience of the mod is preserved, that was something I was worried about, was that it wouldn't be the same, that it would be trying to become a next evolution of the mod. But all it's really done is it's added so much nuance to the experience, made it feel so much more like an intelligent haunting, rather than just, well, an occasional appearance. And that's because it's something that's meant to be experienced over the course of an entire playthrough. Something that exists alongside your game, within your game, rather than an alternate experience to the game. I had initially stopped recording here, however, in very, very short order. They are very busy. The developers have put out several additional updates as this thing becomes closer and closer to feature complete, and I just kind of wanted to play around a little more and see what else we can see. This is something that I haven't really done since, like, the early alpha days, because I consider it to be kind of outdated and dangerous, but I really like the idea of having a mineshaft that is accessible from within our own base. Oh my god! Oh, the temporary excitement of having gotten in here. You staring at me through watery eyes. Every time I encounter you, I feel like there's a moment where there's the sight, the realization, you being gone sometime during that process, and then having to take a moment to shake it off. No, you don't. Really, no, you don't. To use the old cliche, we need to go deeper. We don't have diamond. We've yet to find any diamond. We don't have enough gold. So we need to keep moving downward. And thankfully, a chamber like this provides us the opportunity. It's just so much harder to light a space like this. You know, actually, go off. There we go. Yep. Oh, you collapsed the mine on yourselves. That was awesome. The Lost World is precisely where we need to be. And with the Darkness mod, what we really need is contrast. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to push you out. I meant to do the opposite. There we go. There's our first diamonds. Now we gotta make sure that there's nothing surrounding the area. Even more diamond, but there's so much crap coming after me. God, I hate caves so much. Oh my god, there's so much diamond. There's so much diamond. I'm just waiting for somebody to arrive out of the shadows to snatch all this away. Hey, look at that! There's a little axolotl. Hey there, buddy. Look at you struggling against the current. Hey there. Sometimes I don't even notice you when you're all in shadow like that, but your eyes are always the dead giveaway. And it seems like... And you could always use a distraction, huh? Alright. I guess it would be nice to take you with me. Thank you. I always end up taking pets, even in a save I don't necessarily intend on sticking with. But okay. You're coming up with me, little buddy. Oh, wait. There's another little buddy. Well, if we're gonna take you out of your habitat that you clearly suck at living in, we might as well bring you out with a friend, right? We did get 5 diamonds for our trouble, which really wasn't bad. But I think right now I would like to try doing some fishing. Don't worry, guys, I'm not talking about you. Oh, actually, we're gonna need to get you someplace to live, right? Tell you what, I'm not actually using all this space. So how about we dedicate this to you, then? This is such a weird use of the living room. It's a good thing I built this place so big, huh? There we go, now we can fill all of this up. I'm not sure if I should make it too deep, or if I should just leave it as 1, because, well, these guys don't exactly swim in deep water to begin with. They seem to be kind of stagnant pond dwellers underground. I was initially going to build like a basement or something for them, but I figured, hey, what's the point of having the little guys if you can't enjoy them, right? It's weird. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but the reason I stopped and looked around was because it played that little sound that it used to play when you had spotted Herobrine. Or at least that's what I thought. Turns out it's a flood siren in real life. Strange how close they are, huh? Alright, there we go. Enjoy. I hope you'll enjoy. These guys have a bad habit of despawning. Oh, look at that, they're swimming towards me. There we are. Ah, these things are adorable. Look at this, too. We've even got the big window right next to them, the reeds growing outside. Now that is atmospheric. Don't you like this so much more than that dingy little cave where you were struggling to even stay in the water? Alright, hope you guys enjoy your first night here. Let me get you a little bit more light. I'm a little bit paranoid about that sort of thing, I'm not gonna lie. And, well, I'd invite the trader in, but I don't know if I have room for his llamas, and he doesn't seem to mind the outdoors anyway. Oh. Hey, you don't. Stop trying to mess with the trader, you. I wonder if the llamas actually do have some offensive capability, or if that was entirely the sun. Wait, here we are. And let's make the area beneath this a bit safer. Maybe it's a bit arrogant to try. Could also use some of these gold blocks. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. It'll help to be wearing a gold helmet, won't it? And let's not use our diamond pickaxe on the stuff we see over there. Wait, nope. Oh, look at this. Even the nether is affected by lights out. God, I am so not used to needing this, but we're gonna have to light this space as well. This actually reminds me a lot, and it's very appropriate for these mods, of back when the nether was first added. Do you remember that? All the hype surrounding it, and then you finally got here, and you would probably spawn, like, embedded in the rock, in a tiny little cutout. And every time you tried to mine the netherrack to see what you could do, to see if you could reach somewhere, you would always hear the sounds of ghasts all around you. It was actually genuinely scary. We can take this, and this will be a slow but good way to get some gold. But you can follow me here as well. So that's the thing. That's one of those things that sets you apart and makes it clear that you're not just some haunting. You're something that transcends worlds. In other words, you're something to do with the game itself. The thing about Herobrine is that it felt like something that transcended the game itself. Something that was there unintentionally, something above even Notch. And something that they couldn't account for. I loved how they even played into it back in the day by repeatedly saying removed Herobrine, a tongue-in-cheek way to acknowledge it, while also creating the idea that it was something that they just couldn't get rid of, that allowed them to think that they had, but always seemed to come back. Your stuff wears down so quickly in all of this, and I still haven't found a larger chamber to get a sense of direction. That's alright, though. Ooh. Oh, thank you. The rain probably feels so good right now, doesn't it? Actually, I'm not sure about this, but it almost seems like Lights Out makes even the rainy days just a tad bit darker. The only other real point we've explored is the Woodland Manor, so I think that will be our next point of interest for what I'm about to do. God, it feels so good to have somebody to come home to, huh? though it's important to keep a clear distinction between the chickens and the pets. God, just the scenery that this game naturally creates. That huge mansion that seems so small, nestled in the mountains, right along a river bend. And listen to the soundtrack right now. It's the fact that there's sort of a weirdly nostalgic, like this game felt nostalgic even when it was new. And part of that was the dated graphics. Part of it is just the sound of it, how it feels so distant. And I think in a way that added to the eeriness. Herobrine almost feels like a character from a game you put away a long time ago, and who is very much aware of the time that's passed since you last visited. We're gonna play a fun little game now, and that game is called Pillager Religious Desecration. So, the way you play that is you make an opening in the ground. When I have the resources, perhaps I'll widen it a bit, but right now I simply can't be bothered. There we go. Here we are. This is a bit of a better place. And if I've done this correctly, if I'm right about my orientation, I think that way should be the direction of our other portal. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to spot because it is embedded in the wall. You are just on my tail at every turn while I'm here, it seems. And I do wonder if you're not actually programmed to be more active while I'm in the nether. I mean, it would make sense. You would probably be watching me with great interest. It's like the idea that aliens started showing up more frequently after we tested the atomic bomb. And there we go, bedrock. Messing around with gravel where there could easily be a lava flow is not the safest thing, not gonna lie. We haven't found any of the deep stuff. What was that sound? Was that just a regular cave noise, or...? Here we go, here's the deep stuff. This is what I was looking for. Gotta be careful though, because I know for a fact that there's lava in the area. There we go, blackstone. And what do I need this for? I'm not sure, to be honest, but I was looking for it. Okay, some non-zombified piggies. And it seems like we passed the vibe check because they're not shooting us. Thank you, random helmet. It's kind of like a party favor finding one right outside the abandoned nether portal. Just making sure we have the right stuff. Well, seems like we're caught outside at night again, but our old shelter gives us shelter once more. Only this time we have some really cool materials to barricade ourselves in with. I have actually had a look at the config board, and it seems that features are, with each update, being re-added. I had thought that the first time I looked at it, and I thought, like, what, didn't it used to be able to do more things? And it turns out that that's actually the case, that things are being revamped and re-added. Okay, moment of truth. Let's find out if these guys got despawned. Nope, still playfully giggling around like they should be. Hey, I found another one. I hope this isn't gonna become a whole thing. Nope, give me that stuff back. I could use an azalea garden. Just as I can apparently become an axolotl conservation effort. More diamonds, excellent. I didn't even bring my diamond pick with me because I'm just so afraid of losing everything. And these things are kind of necessary for deep sleep because it's quite a lot tougher. I don't even have time to to deal with that lurker right now. Although... Oh, come on. With modern conveniences, perhaps I could? Hang on. Nope. Oh yeah, now you know how to get out of here. It is nearly impossible to do anything about stuff like this. You're just immediately assaulted the second you get down here, even before you get down here. You again. Can we get close enough to see texture? Hardly. Oh! You led me right into that. You did it on purpose, didn't you? Alright. We need to get what we can and get out of here. There's just no anything. Okay, guys, you have some new recruits. Let's see how well they get along. I'm actually not sure. Do axolotls eat the little tropical fish? That's a new texture that I've not seen before. Well, there you go. They do. Well, I tried. Now that we've got all these diamonds, we might as well put them to use, right? The enchanting table, we still need some more obsidian. But we can at least get ourselves a nice jukebox to listen to our CDs on, right? So let's just place you in the corner right over here. And listen to this one, the classic. There you guys go. You probably heard this all the time down in the caves, right? And now the sun is setting. Man, I'm really doing a great job of simulating this environment here. Well, time to go to bed listening to that. Sweet dreams, children. Now we will have our balcony, and I'm not 100% sure if I like it, but it at least gives me a way to look out over my kingdom, right? Although this kingdom seems less like mine by the day. All the little ambient sounds just make me nervous now. You guys squeaking in there, the chickens outside, the rustling of other things that don't make any other sound. And I think that's probably what bothers me the most. You know what this feels like? This feels like Darkwood now. Now that it really is dark in those woods. What was that? That seemed like more than the regular steam coming off of there. That seemed like more than the regular smoke coming off of there. Easy now. Yep, not friendly. You're cute, but you're not friendly. Thank you. Oop. So, how are we dealing with this? Yep, this is definitely learn from the chickens. This is a time for a sword. But it's hard because the smaller you get, the cuter you get. Ooh. Diamond. Yeah, I'm down here doing some good old-fashioned strip mining, something which I had thought to be obsolete in modern Minecraft. Because I'm trying to see if I can bait Herobrine into finding me here. Only thing, he's been suspiciously absent recently. Although the feeling of being watched is still there. I feel like that's one of the classic cases of Minecraft creepiness. That time when you've been so focused on strip mining for a while, on your finds and lack thereof, and then you turn around and see just what it is you've been up to. Oh, don't do this to me now, music. See, this is the more classic music, the kind that's making it feel like it's lulling me into a false sense of security. And in this moment, all the while, I've been hearing strange sounds, so it's gonna drown them out a bit. You know what? Now is actually a really good time when I think I should be setting that render distance down low. Oh, there we are. Huh, all the way down there looks a little weird, doesn't it? Maybe I think what I'm seeing is a sunset or sunrise in the draw distance. But even still, it wasn't a Herobrine sound, but a cave noise that it made the second I turned around. I just feel so paranoid, and I've always felt paranoid digging this way. It's like a tension that builds on the back of my neck that dares me to turn around, and the more I try and fight it, the more I have to. Oh my god! Oh. Well, that was awful. See, these narrow things, aside from being dark and deep slate, these are the kind of cave systems I remember, the narrow ones. The kinds you get lost in for hours. Is it a waste of time? Not so long as you're pulling up as many diamonds as this. Yeah, it really puts into perspective when you have the fog on just how deep these tunnels actually go, huh? Oh man, just how far is it? Wow, that's far. So far I'm seeing stars. Yeah, no. Very often, I'll hear what sounds like a second, like something else mining, but like nearby. My fortune is absolutely incredible today. Every once in a while, in the little particles, pixels, whatever you want to call them, of the debris flying away in the dark, I swear I see a couple of white little dots. So here's the thing, I'm about to end this mining expedition by necessity because I'm about to run out of torches. And my key takeaway is that I have no idea if I've been haunted this entire time or not, but it sure felt like it. Maybe what this mod is really for is for the people who loved the feeling of being creeped out in this, but over time it's lost its edge. And they want to get that back by knowing that there's something there. 20 dimes. That's incredible. But I'll take it. And a good amount of everything else for our trouble. This place feels weirdly empty this way, doesn't it? Well, at least we have the bat to keep us company. But it's weirdly silent, too. I had grown somewhat distasteful of cave fog, but this looks different. Is this something that's been changed in the update? Because I am running on the newest version. This is being recorded over like several sessions because they just keep adding things. This is a new and very weird feeling. Alright, I'm getting out of here. And we get up higher and suddenly it's that old bright stuff again. Huh, it's like the fog gets darker the deeper you go. Weird thing is, I haven't seen him in quite a while. Like, I have not seen him at all in this session. Maybe something will happen if we generate some new terrain? Oh god. Ocean crossings in fog. I've never done this before. Even looking down to the bottom of the ocean, I can only see a small ring around me. I'm pretty sure this is also all new terrain that's being generated. I have my compass, right? Okay, good. So, I've been sailing for a very, very long time. And it doesn't feel like I'm any closer to land. Terrain increasing? Some underwater ruins. And some underwater bad guys. Hang on. Ooh, an emerald and an enchanted fishing rod, Curse of Vanishing. I don't remember what that does, but it doesn't sound good. Oh, wait. There's something. A new distant land. There's gotta be somewhere I can come ashore, right? Ugh. And I don't have any torches. Yeah, no. Every once in a while, and for some reason it's always when I'm tunneling to my left, it sounds like another pick is going, like there's something just out of sync. Unmistakably. Oh, I just knocked out my own torch. Unmistakably, there's something else down here. And it's always just to the sides. When I try tunneling into it... God, the thought of that. Alright, I think it's about time I head home. This turned out to be an island of gold, but I'm a long way from there, and I am just about ready to end this. Okay, I think I might need one more gold block. But I think it's time to request an audience. What do you think? Now the question is, what would be the best place to do this? And I'm thinking probably right here. We don't want to do this inside because A, there's too little room, and B, we don't want to put the axolotls at risk. I've always been of the mind that we should value the lives of animals the same way that we value our own, because from their perspective, their life is every bit as valuable. And so we want to make sure that we do this where nobody can get hurt, where it's nowhere near anything who might be harmed by this. So we're going to put this right about here. Once again, this may still require something else. May need to fill that in with gold, I don't know. And I think we may also require redstone torches, I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I'm not entirely sure. We may still need the mossy cobblestone. I saw you there. You know I'm looking for your stuff. Problem is, a lot of this world is already generated. The sun is setting below the horizon. Our little corner of the world is swiftly becoming an isolated snow globe once more. And I think it's time for us to try and put our ritual to the test. I mean, just looking out that window and seeing a wall of nothing, soon to be replaced by the moon. Let's see what we can do. I'm not entirely sure this will work. We may still actually need that mossy cobblestone. But I guess we'll find out. Oof. This was not where I needed to spawn. Oh, Liberty, Percy, you guys would not believe the nightmare I just had. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter now. I'm back home. I'm with you guys. And better yet, I'm in a house that's not going to burn down. I was really nervous about that. Oh, right. In the waking world, this place is also haunted, but not like the other way. Or I guess it is now. You know what? Don't worry about it. You guys just keep being you. And if these terrors are going to follow me straight from my dreams into the real world, we might as well see what's new. Because this mod's development is in such a constant state of change, and I've only put about 10 hours into it while this is meant to run alongside an entire playthrough, we haven't gotten to personally witness every one of Herobrine's new or modified behaviors, so at least as far as I know, he does tend to work from the shadows. But we can at least see some of what's in the works right now. We can see what's up. Chilled candles? Chilled Candles is a spooky event where Herobrine douses the flames on your candles when you're not around. As soon as you leave the area, there's a chance he will silently snuff them out, leaving the space darkened upon your return. And I take that personally. We've got Crimson Curse, an eerie event where Herobrine swaps out torches and lanterns for redstone torches and soul lanterns. You may return to once bright areas, only to find them eerily dimmed by his interference. Then there's, Sinister Signs. Sinister Signs causes Herobrine to leave eerie, cryptic signs around the world. These messages appear without explanation, unsettling players and leaving them wondering about his motives and presence. And finally we have Ghost Miner. This makes Herobrine dig tunnels nearby, both underground and on the surface. These tunnels are often irregular and seemingly random, creating an eerie sense of activity and presence wherever you go. The skin library has been updated. Now, I've never figured out how to actually get it to use additional skins. Oh my god. That's the man from the fog. And Slender Man. Look at that. There's even like visitors from other things now. Coming into this latest evolution on the mod, I was a little perplexed at first that it seemingly had only the most basic behaviors available. It almost seemed like it had taken a couple steps back. I mean, it had a bit of a fancier skin on it, but that was all. But as I played, what I found was that even within that handful of basic behaviors, there was something that seemed more malevolent, something more intelligent to it. And to watch it gain new abilities over time in such short order, having no idea where it's going to go, and having greater complexities even within those abilities that it already had. It sort of reminds me of the trajectory of the Herobrine legend itself, doesn't it? I mean, in the beginning, that was what made it so scary. It was just a player standing in the fog of your single-player world, and that was all it needed. And it got people talking. It got people to think that they had really seen him. If there was something happening in their world that they couldn't account for, they attributed it to Herobrine. Didn't even have to see him to feel his presence. And over time, he became something of a meme. He became something of a joke, appearing in, like, gags and machinima videos. In other words, the character was diluted. I've always heard this idea that ghosts become more powerful the more people believe in them, the more people fear them. To watch that fear grow as the list of abilities has expanded, it's almost like we're making him more powerful all over again. And I'm certainly very excited to see just where this mod will go, because, well, if I know Brett, he is absolutely full of ideas right about now. It is too dark to enter this tower with lights out. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.